Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bachelor Nation official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Joan Vassos, the first ever Golden Bachelorette, acknowledged that she needed to relearn how to fall in love. When her spouse of more than 30 years died, she was devastated. All the same, when 24 men were vying for her heart, there was a lot to process. So how did she deal with it, and how did she ever manage to let her heart open again? For additional information, continue reading. Love Had to Be Relearned by Joan Vassos. The worst kind of destruction was experienced by Joan Vassos in 2021 when she lost the love of her life. She had been with John for 32 years, and she was obviously not thinking of dating again. She later participated in the Golden Bachelor's inaugural season alongside Jerry Turner. They looked stunning together and had a great connection. But Joan put her family first and her daughter needed her, so she gave up on the idea of falling in love. He eventually wed Teresa Nist, although the couple only lasted 3 months before divorcing. Men are smitten with Joan, the first Golden Bachelorette, right now. As the show enters its 5th week, she has developed some incredibly close relationships with the surviving guys. Chalk Chapel, Jonathan Roan, and Jordan Heller are a few of them. They have completely enthralled her, particularly Chalk. Joan said to Us Weekly that she had to relearn how to fall in love, even though it has been difficult because she is still thinking about John. After spending so much time in a relationship, you begin to believe that you are loved and that you are loved in return. And when it suddenly disappears, you have no idea how to do it again or if you'll ever get it back. The show's psychiatrist was helpful since it wasn't easy. Joan Vassos did not hesitate to seek assistance in order to manage her feelings for her deceased spouse. She felt like she was being disloyal, to be honest. She was prepared to throw caution to the wind numerous times, just to discover that she was holding back. I asked myself if I could continue doing this. I'm not sure whether I can go past this emotion I'm experiencing. Imagine you have 2 balloons in your hand, they continued. John is one, while this other individual is another. To cling to this other person, you don't need to let go of John. Thus, John might continue to be a part of my life even if I started seeing someone else. All of the men that appeared on the show were really liked by Joan Vassos. She therefore desired to end the series after each rose ceremony. Although several of the men have stated that the friendships they formed at the house have made it well worth it, she was devastated to have to injure anyone. The Golden Bachelorette knew just what she needed, a fixer. She saw it in Chalk Chapel, and that was what John was. She discovered a great deal about him and his efforts to support his late wife during her illness. I reasoned that Chalk is someone who could restore your sense of security. Joan continually travels to her hometown because her journey is not yet complete. She will get to know her suitor's family better by meeting them. She is making an effort to honor John and herself by being present in the moment till then. Joan is finally demonstrating that, when it comes to love, age is just a number. She is shattering the taboo and, perhaps, achieving her happily ever after. Do you think Joan will find the ideal man to match her? Furthermore, do you believe that despite her risks, she is doing everything in her power to honor her husband? Please let us know and tune in to ABC and Hulu streaming on Wednesdays to watch the Golden Bachelorette. Although Pascal Ibgui, a competitor on the Golden Bachelorette, has been getting to know Joan Vassos, there are indications that he might wind up breaking her heart. Joan, a 61-year-old Rockville, Maryland, administrator for a private school, set off on her quest with 24 guys. In 2021, the mother of 4 children and grandma of 3 lost her 32-year spouse, John, to pancreatic cancer. With Pascal, Chalk Chapel, Guy Gansert, Jonathan Roan, Jordan Heller, Keith Gordon, and Mark Anderson as her remaining suitors, Joan has now reduced her pool to only 7 men. Joan has been infatuated with Pascal, a 69-year-old salon owner who was born in France but is currently residing in Chicago, Illinois, for the entirety of the Golden Bachelorette Season 1. Pascal has costly tastes, enjoys luxury clothing, and is appreciative of life's better pleasures. Additionally, he has admitted that he doesn't clean, cook, or do laundry. Pascal and Joan went on a one-on-one date, and they have since experienced some special times. But it's starting to look like Pascal might actually do Joan harm in the end. Joan treated Pascal to a private jet ride to Las Vegas on their first date, which took place in the third episode of the Golden Bachelorette. They had a great time trying on different stylish attire. Legendary musician Wayne Newton also gave them a private concert, and they danced together during it. Pascal confided in Joan over dinner, telling her about his rough youth in Paris due to his family's lack of wealth. He also admitted to her that he didn't sense his parents' love or support. Pascal arrived in the United States, determined to make a name for himself, having made a commitment to that effect. Pascal opening out to Joan pleased her much. It was a momentous occasion since Pascal had acknowledged in his confessional that he found it difficult to be open and vulnerable. They shared numerous kisses, demonstrating their physical as well as emotional connection. But as the season draws to a close, Pascal may once again struggle with being transparent. This would make Joan's relationship with him extremely challenging. Joan has admitted to the Golden Bachelorette men that she still loves her husband John and would always hold a special place in her heart, therefore she found it particularly hard to be open. Joan and Pascal's relationship is doomed if they are unable to be completely honest with one another. Pascal doesn't appear to be fully there for Joan, and she wants someone who is willing to be vulnerable with her. Joan told Pascal that she was upset that he hadn't tried more to grab her attention during their date at the Stand Up for Cancer Chippendales after party in the Golden Bachelorette episode 4. After apologizing, Pascal said that he preferred to work one-on-one with people. He clarified that he didn't intend to come across as hostile. Although Joan appeared to accept this response, Pascal took this as a bad sign. He was in the same circumstances as the other men, but Joan simply asked him about his level of attentiveness. Given that this wasn't demonstrated in the episode, learning that Pascal wasn't giving Joan enough attention came as a bit of a surprise. But it's excellent that Joan told him about it without fear. Pascal may not be accustomed to having to fight for a woman's affections, because he seems like the kind of man who typically has ladies falling all over him. This might indicate that Pascal isn't a good fit for the Golden Bachelorette structure. Because he doesn't want to struggle for Joan's attention, he might wind up shattering her heart. The other 6 remaining men have made a significant effort to win Joan's heart and have put themselves out there for her. Chalk's devotion to her was demonstrated when he even went back to her after a brief absence due to the death of his mother. If Joan puts more effort into the relationship than Pascal can or is willing to put in, he can wind up shattering Joan's heart. Joan shouldn't have to plead with Pascal to get his notice. Pascal is overly preoccupied with material possessions, despite having told Joan that he's happy of the life he's built for himself after experiencing financial hardships as a young man. In his confessional, he emphasized that he is not a snob and that one should not judge a person by the cover of their book. But Pascal showed Joan his closet, which he mockingly complained was too small for all of his fancy stuff, when Joan went to see the men at the Bachelor mansion. Even though it was a humorous moment, it demonstrated Pascal's high regard for material possessions, something Joan doesn't appear to share. Pascal also looks to be very self-centered. He acknowledged that he doesn't clean, cook, or do laundry, but it appeared more like a reflection of his belief that those tasks are beneath him than a lack of ability. He even made a light-hearted offer to pay Greg Lasson, a contestant, to clean his laundry, which turned into a humorous plot point on the show. It was touching to see Pascal doing his own laundry with Mark's assistance after Greg left, but it's unlikely that he would carry on in the real world. Although Pascal's enjoyment of finer things in life and his desire for attention and pampering are perfectly acceptable, he doesn't seem to be the kind of man Joan is searching for. She has stated time and time again that she stopped feeling safe when her husband passed away. She's searching for someone who can restore those feelings in her. It appears like Pascal would expect Joan to take care of him rather than the other way around. Joan wouldn't be interested in it, thus this would injure her in the end. Joan and Pascal from the Golden Bachelorette appear to be connecting, but there are already some roadblocks on their path. Since they appear to be from different planets, Pascal may eventually injure Joan as a result. Joan ought to go after the men who are putting a lot of effort into her instead. If Pascal hopes to ultimately win Joan's heart, he will truly need to pick up his game. It appears, nevertheless, that Joan's heart might be broken by Pascal, which would be very unfortunate.